the definition of being black. The only reason I want to talk about the definition of being black is because it's real popular right now. Remember how we talked about, like, majority of the world is mixed?
Yeah.
So, apparently, it's not just black cultures. I'm just aware of black culture because I have nothing to do with majority of the other cultures. But mixed kids want a clear definition of what it means to be who they are. So, if they're white and Hispanic, most of the Hispanic people, I'm using this because I live in Arizona, and that's their situation here. Majority of the time it's Hispanic and white, or Hispanic and black. The Hispanic and white kids feel like, so what's the definition of being Hispanic? Remember, we got thorough people from Mexico that live here,
right? And
they look at American Hispanics and they like, you white?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll look you in your face.
You one of them. You ain't one of us no
like
more.
gringo.
Right.
They gonna call you that to your face. Like, that's what it is.
That's facts.
And for us, black people, we define it. We define it. It may not be intentional, but it comes across our head like, you're not really black like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so for these is the topics. The only reason I wanted to bring up hypocrisy is because of everything that's going on. We've seen Trump be hypocritical every step of the way.
Facts.
He shows consistency there, so he's gonna stay a hypocrite.
Consistent in his inconsistency.
Pretty much. He's never put a clear picture in anybody's head of anything.
Absolutely
except that you should hate him.
Right.
Like, that's pretty much it. And then another figure that we haven't touched on, Kevin Durant. He's slowly dropping down my favorite player. He was top 5, now he's top 10. It's probably around 8. Even if I don't have 7 people above him, I will find 7 people above him. Because and I just want to make this general, like, you can't go back on who you are, and that seems to be the theme of a lot of successful people.
George Foreman just did that. He just came out and was praising Trump, basically saying that Colin Kaepernick's bad.
Yeah, and with Kevin Durant, his situation is, we all know that he left his team that he was loyal to go to the team that beat him and win the championship. Nobody liked that.
Right.
Not one soul. So, in his tweet, when he played for that team, he said, "Oh, LeBron's so popular in Miami because he won a championship. Now everybody want to go to Miami or Boston." At the time, KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. So everybody wanted to go to those 2 teams. He was like, "Don't be a bandwagon. Keep the league competitive." You just did that to Golden State.
Right.
You just left the team to beat you to go to the popular team.
Yep.
That's exactly what you just did. So there's a problem with that and the fact that he used that. Now, he dropped the shoe, basically throwing it in everybody's face. He dropped his latest shoe with a bunch of words that people described him as, like, disloyal, liar, this. He basically put it on the sole issue to disrespect, like, I'm stepping on all that. I got a ring. It's over.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the MVP. He threw it. And then the very next day after he dropped that shoe, it was leaked that he started a fake Twitter page.
I heard about that.
Bashing his coach, the team, every player that wasn't named Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
And then he got caught, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. It was an idiotic move. I don't know what I'm thinking." My thing is, man up. If you felt that way, you should just said it. The bitch move is when you made a fake page, like, you made this tummy tea ass page. It was probably a little girl in a waist trainer going in, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you went out of your way to make sure it was no static.
Yeah.
And then bash on your old team for no reason.
Your opinion, but you didn't want it to be known that it was your opinion.
And you wanted to be honest, but you didn't. You did all these interviews saying, no, it was just a personal decision. I like Golden State. It was never what it was. And then you create a fake page and really tell the truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and you know how thorough the NBA is. It's 80% black. 80% of them guaranteed is like, you a hoe. You know that, right?
Oh, whole ass nigga.
Yeah, like, Draymond Green is on his team. Draymond is from Saginaw.
Draymond ain't gonna
That's his teammate, but he ain't gonna bash him on the stage because he know the rules.
He gonna do it during practice.
But in practice, he'll be like, I still remember that whole move. Don't make a fake page. Like, he gonna throw a little childish joke. Don't make a fake page going at me and then make a statement talking about we homies.
We gonna know it's you.
Yeah, like, so that's where the hypocrisy come in. So how do you feel about the definition of being black?
I mean, as a black person who spent about half my life in the suburbs and half my life in the inner city, I would say that it's a weird place because it's like, because it was like, I remember being young, right, and like I would like when I was in the suburbs, like going to school and stuff like that or whatever, like it was like I was looked at different because I was black. At the time, there weren't as many black families. Like, it ended up being like stupid diverse where I went to school at. So like, it ended up being some of everybody there. So I wouldn't even call it like a white suburb.
Yeah.
When I first moved there, it was a white suburb. You know what I'm saying? Farmington. So when we first moved there, it was a white suburb. So I just remember getting looks from like police and like other adults and, you know, other students and all that. Like, what is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then, like, you're trying to make friends and stuff like that, and it's just awkward, you know what I mean? Because they don't know how to relate to you on any level, you know?
Yeah.
At the same time that's going on, whenever I'd go back to the neighborhoods and, like, go visit my grandma or go visit, like, you know what I'm saying, people who still lived, like, in the city, then it was not black enough. Yeah. Then it was, you talk like a white boy. And you know, and all of that kind of stuff. So it's, like, that's confusing. Because it's like, okay, when I'm with white people, they say I'm too black. When I'm with black people, they say I'm too white, even though I'm not white at all.
It's very easy to fall in and out of the black category.
I'm 100% black. Like, both my parents is black. So it's like, there's not even a little bit of white in there. But, you know, they say I'm a white boy because I speak proper or whatever. So it's like, so what I ended up doing, like, growing up was in middle school. At that point, that's when all the black people basically started to move back to my area from, you know, Detroit or whatever. Like, just a lot of people started moving, basically. Like, it was almost like black and brown flight to the suburbs. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was Arabs, Indians, Asians, black, Hispanic, like everything you can think of went to my school, right?
Yeah.
So this started happening in middle school. At that time, I had been in Farmington for a couple of years at that point. So I had learned how to like completely assimilate to be how all the white people were, basically. Yeah. So, you know, I'm skateboarding and I'm, you know what I'm saying, playing the drums in a rock band and like doing all this type of shit, right? And all the black people, again, looking at me like, what is this nigga doing? Like, why does he have on Airwalks and Vans and shit? Like, don't nobody wear that shit. Like, nigga, we wear J's and Nikes. Fuck is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, I had went all the way to one extreme, like, at that point. Then it's like high school starts rolling around. It's like, okay, you're starting to get, like, more into women. And, like, you see, you know what I'm saying, all that type of stuff. So then I end up going all the way this way. So it's like, you know what I mean? I still maintain my friendships and all of that with, like, the skaters and stuff like that. But for the most part, it was like, okay, now I'm going to do everything I can to prove how black I am. Yeah. So instead of, you know, just kind of accepting, you know, what it was and just hanging out with the black people, like, you know, that went to school with me or whatever. Nah, not me. I'm going to the hood. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the most dangerous block at? Let me go post up over there with some homies for just to prove I'm real and I'm black. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not a measure of blackness either. Like, so it was just confusing growing up. Yeah. Now, I think basically the definition of being black basically is just, I mean, it's really, it doesn't come down to anything more than, you know, your ethnicity at this point. Like, whoever your parents are, like, ethnically, that's who you are too. But I don't think there's really an identity that goes with it anymore. And I think, to be honest, a lot of, like, that's one thing that I think a lot of these new rappers are doing good. Like, I hate their music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I personally hate the way they dress, but they're bringing a lot of that black and white together. So where it's like there is no
there is no boundary.
There's no boundary, and there is no, oh, you're acting black, you're acting white. Like, that doesn't, because, like, growing up,
destroying the limitations.
They're destroying the limitations. Like, growing up, Lil Uzi Vert would have been called a white boy all day.
He would have got beat out of school.
Yeah.
He would have got beat out of DPS.
Like, all of them dudes. Like, you know, all them new dudes. Lil Pump, Lil Yachty, like, all these, like, little weirdo rappers, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're bringing, they're bridging the gap between, quote unquote, acting black and acting white. So, you know, I think Kanye, he was one of those guys who kind of, you know, started
it too. I don't think that was a new trend. I think it was just one that was slept on. Like, because of how they approach it, like, they try to go as this black rock star.
Yeah.
That's not new. Like, Jimi Hendrix was the first person I knew who was on that.
It's new for rap, though.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, Jimi Hendrix was playing guitar, and he was doing the style of music that we were typically seen, or that we typically associated with that style of dress.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people who dressed like Jimi Hendrix did the kind of music Jimmy did. He was way better than everybody else, but they did the same genre of music. This is the first time we're seeing it in rap. And I think that's because rap is the biggest music. You know what I mean? Like,
but a lot of those,
music is pop.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of these artists that you name, like you said, like Uzi and them, they don't make gangster rap songs. Like, they make punk songs with
over trap beats, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So people like Metro could do one of Uzi's beats.
Exactly.
But
right.
once we hear Metro Boomin want some more, we're gonna be like, what is that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
right.
And that's not saying that, you know what I'm saying, but that could happen with anybody. Just because of, like, Katy Perry could drop a fire pop song, but if you hear Metro Boomin on there, it's gonna play in the hood.
Yep. Just what's the joint to share with Juicy?
Yeah.
That mug still gets spanned. You know
Bieber did it. Bieber did nothing but pop songs, but he kept a black artist on there, even if it wasn't like rap. It could have just been an R&B singer on there.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a standard.
Same thing.
That was like, yeah, because of these artists like this,
Robin Thicke.
where
same thing.
people, and this is what I'm saying. This was another thing that I was leading to, because not just black people and mixed people, but the other cultures like white people and Asians, they want a clear definition too, because a lot of them be like, yo, I'm way blacker than your friend.
Yeah.
Like, he's been black his whole life, and I feel like I got more experience.
Now, I think in
black culture.
I think in those situations, in those situations, like, I think on like a personal level, that's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's just like me, you, and you know, Chris and some, you know what I'm saying, he brings a white dude around or whatever, and he's like with the shits, basically. You know what I'm saying? And he's one of us by all definitions or whatever. Like, I think that's an okay conversation to have, like, you know, on an individual thing. But like, when you're putting it out there, like, this is what it means to be black, I just don't think you can answer that question,
because like, if you did a poll,
because look at Cornel West, right?
Yeah.
Cornel West, one of the smartest people. You know, Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of the smartest people on the planet. There's nothing hood about either of those dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're very proper when they speak. They're very intelligent. Like, there's, you know, all of that kind of stuff that people typically do not associate with the hood. They are all of those things. You know what I mean? Nobody says they're not black. Nobody tries to take that away from either of them. You know what I'm saying? Michael Eric Dyson. Nobody tries to take away his black card. Nobody tries to take away Barack Obama's black card. Like, he's mixed. His mom's white. You know what I'm saying?
Clearly mixed.
And nobody he's black. Fuck that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what everybody says, right? So, I think, first of all, I think most people associate black with hood. I think that's the first thing. So, if you associate being black with being hood, then I think you can kind of create those, like, those boundaries, for example. That's when a white person can say, man, I'm blacker than him. Because he might have went through more hood shit than him. He might have been raised around more black people than him. Yeah. He might have grew up eating collard greens, and you know what I'm saying? And he feels black. Like, you know what I mean? So I get what that means, although I disagree with it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your skin's white, you can never be black, period, end of story. Don't care.
Now,
you know what I'm saying?
Let me give you my side of it.
But then, like, on the just real quick to finish, and then, like, but you do see that with certain other people who, so I just named Cornel West, Barack Obama, Michael Eric Dyson, people like that. What's my other guy's name? I forget his name all the time when I'm thinking about. It's another three-part name. I can't think of it right now, but
from politics.
Kind of from politics. Mark Lamont Hill, that's his name.
Oh, okay.
Mark Lamont Hill.
Yeah.
Although he's a little bit more hip hop, I would say, than the other guys I named, but still very intelligent. He debates Bill O'Reilly and people like that. Well, he used to before Bill got fired, but nobody ever tried to question their blackness.
Yeah.
But Ben Carson. Nobody in the black community accepted him. We were like, nah, he ain't one of us.
No.
Alan Keyes, nobody accepted him. Everybody was like, nah, he ain't one of us. You know what I'm saying? There's countless examples of black people in mainstream society that are on TV and stuff that black people do not claim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're like, no, his skin's just dark. That's it. Like,
yeah.
So now on that, I think it's more so of a I think that is deeper into like politics and stuff like that, because it's like we know overall what type of policies help our community more. We know what type of policies hurt our community more. Yeah. And when you're a black person and you're advocating for policies that are going to hurt us more instead of help us more, and you sound like every white right-wing Republican that's out there, you don't have shit in common with us, obviously. Yeah. So why would we claim you? You know what I mean? So it's like, I see it from both sides. It's just a weird thing, because it's like I said, I've been put in that position before, and I hate it. Like, don't call me white. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know how many times I've been harassed by the police. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not doing nothing wrong. You know what I mean? I know my hair is nappy. I got dreadlocks. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I listen to rap. Like, I do, like, whatever you associate with black people, I do all that stuff, but I also have a political podcast. We also do our YouTube channel where we drop politics and knowledge. I know what I'm talking about.
But this is what's leading to my perspective is just because I met these extremes. And I probably said the wrong thing. I'm not going to lie. I probably said the wrong thing. But to me, the clear-cut definition, the black standard is based on experience. It's one loophole. Mm-hmm. It's the color of your skin and experience. If you have no black experiences, you're not black. You can be the darkest person on earth, but if you don't have that black experience, you're not black. Yeah. That's the definition. It's one loophole, though.
What's that?
If you have the skin color and you can do something better than white people can or anybody else, you're black by definition. Even if you don't have that experience. Tiger Woods.
True.
Even if Serena and Venus weren't who they were, just because they play tennis better
we would have claimed them.
Yep, we would claim them, and it's those, like you said, Ben Carson is probably a few people who claim him because he did something better than somebody else.
Yeah, because he was a brain surgeon and like all of that. Yeah, so I get it. Like at one time, I was
by default.
Once he started opening his mouth,
you could claim it. You know what I'm saying? Like Tiger. To me, in all reality, Tiger's Asian.
Yeah, I think he is more Asian than anything else.
Yeah, like he's more Asian than anything else, clearly.
If not, if you
paid any attention to him, he surrounds himself with Asians outside of his professional career. Yeah. Like, Asians would, like, if they got together and was like, we need a rapper in the game, Tiger is going to be you. You the darkest one, and you could probably pull it off.
That's real.
And he, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's more Asian than anything. I don't think people pay attention to it. And then, like, Cameron Diaz and all of them, people don't know that they're Hispanic.
You know what? And that's so funny, because even though her last name is Diaz, I didn't even realize she was Hispanic for the longest time. I think it popped into my head. Like, not even the name Diaz didn't trigger it. Like, you would think that would be enough, but it wasn't, just based on looks. Like, and it was on Snoop show on GGM when he was like, yeah, me and Cameron Diaz went to high school together. She from Long Beach. I was like, Cameron Diaz is Mexican, yo, or Hispanic. I don't know exactly what kind, but like, and then further proof of that is where I work now. There's all different. There are Mexicans from Mexico at my job who look white.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I would never know they were Mexican unless I spoke to them and heard the accent.
And they did a show on this. They did a show. They was like people you would never expect to be what they are. And they was like Tyson Beckford. He's Asian.
But like, but from where?
Huh?
From where? Though?
His mom's Korean.
Okay.
And they put up a picture of him and his mom, and I was like, he looked just like his mom, except he's huge and black. That's same
crazy,
eyes and all.
Because like I could see if maybe she was from Laos or Cambodia or something, because their people are naturally darker. Their hair is a little bit more like ours.
And then Boris Kojo, we forget that I think he's German.
Yeah,
or Russian
I
or something like that. Yeah. Like, we know Boris is a clear giveaway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. No, that's true. That's true.
But the thing...
But that's that American stuff.
Yeah, but
like,
that...
You know what I'm saying? That's because we don't know.
But my experiences with it, like, people would ask me, they'd be like, what's the clear definition? Because I seen you point at a dude, you was like, he's not black. Mm-hmm. And I did that out here specifically, because a dude was like, I'm from Fountain Hills, he's twice as dark as me, and I'm not a light-skinned dude if y'all never seen my Instagram. And he's like, he's twice as dark as me, and I was like, he's not black, because he's not. Like, I had a conversation with him, and I called him OJ Simpson at the end, because that was the first thing that popped in my... That's why I said I went about it the wrong way, because he was like, when we had a conversation, you know, usually when we get to know people, we reference stuff that's just general through the black community. Yeah. You see Friday, Boys in the Hood.
Right.
You Annihilators. You got to a fight in school. You know what I'm saying? General stuff that could have happened in any black community.
Facts.
And he was like, no. And then politics came up, and we started talking about the struggles in black community. And he was like, I don't think any black person is struggling. I think all black people are using an excuse, and they've been using an excuse for so long. And I'm like, so he knows nothing about oppression.
Yeah, I was gonna say
at all.
That clearly eliminates you out of the run.
Yeah, so like if you have no knowledge of what you go through, and then I was like, he's OJ Simpson, because if you paid attention to OJ Simpson, not like the white girl thing, but like, he said it multiple times. He was like, when they was like, you got to get black jurors on this, like, you got to get black people up there to vouch for you, because if they have an all-white jury, it's over for you.
Yeah.
And the first thing he said, he was like, I don't have anything to do with black people. I don't know it. He was like, I'm not black. Like, he was like, he was like, you know what school I go to? You know, I only date white. Like, he basically told him every reason why he has nothing to do with black society. Mm-hmm. And then they was like,
they're like, yeah, none of that matters.
Was like, well, yeah,
none of that matters.
You better start right now.
You
and
allegedly killed a white woman.
Yeah,
all of your white cred is out the window.
Yeah,
at this point.
like,
you're a nigger again. Like,
and everybody,
you went all the way down to nigger again, bro. Like, come on, OJ.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, he was like, I'm just a golfer, this, and that. Like,
right. He was
you know
trying
what I'm saying?
And then he make
tried
up
to,
something to
stir
try to,
away.
He like tried to make up a word that incorporated black, Asian, Caucasian, and all that. Like Caucasian or something. Yeah, that's like, my race.
He was like, before all of that,
in America,
before he fell off, he was like, he didn't like openly disrespect the black community, but he was like,
he distanced himself.
I really don't have nothing in common with y'all, so I'm gonna stay over here. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really rude.
It's not disrespect. It just is what it is.
Yeah, it was just,
and we just didn't know how to take that.
We was hurt.
Yeah,
because we wanted you to have some type of recognition for us.
Because that's like one of the things that in America we have, like, is sports. You know what I'm saying? We dominate whatever sport we play. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
If our community is invested in it, we going hard for it.
Period. So football, we done took over. You know what I'm saying? Basketball clearly.
Been ours.
You know what I'm saying? Racing, ours. You know what I'm saying? Or like on
Olympic sports.
Yeah, Olympic sports. We got that on lock.
Pretty much we got all of them except swimming. And that's probably not going to change.
You know what I'm saying?
No
Hockey's starting to change. Like, there's more and more black people getting involved in hockey.
Baseball is a little iffy because it's us and the Hispanics.
The Hispanics too, yeah, they be killing it. Soccer is them. The Hispanics got it.
But I don't know, because Africa is huge on soccer.
Exactly, and then we had Pele.
And they always,
you know what I'm saying? Like, even though I think he was an Afro-Hispanic, so I think we both get to claim Pele, which is fine. I'm willing to share him with y'all Hispanics. That's cool.
But the two things I don't like when it comes to this issue of the definition, I don't like when other races be like, I'm more black than so-and-so. I don't like it at all. Just like I don't like when females be like, yeah, I'm basically like a dude. No, you're not. No, you're not. Like, straight up, don't tell me Like, you know what I'm saying? You more than a male than somebody else.
Like those friends, like those girls who be like, oh, I only hang out with, I don't hang out with no girls. I only hang out with dudes.
Yeah, and they try to tell, like, they're trying to tell their homegirl, like, oh, I got 19 brothers and all I hang out with dudes. I know what I'm talking about. No, you don't.
Right.
No, you don't. Because it's like this. If you're not black, it's certain experiences you can literally only go through if you're black.
Facts.
And that's the only way you're going to understand. Like, we can say...
And that's what makes me mad when people try to tell us how to feel about certain stuff. Like, get over it. Like, you've never been through it. Like, maybe I personally didn't go through it, but I'm the one dealing with the effects of what happened.
That's what I'm saying.
You're not. So, you cannot tell me nothing about how I should feel about nothing.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it'll be so many people, like, even though we'll be like, who's blacker, Wayne Brady or Eminem? A lot of people will be like, Eminem. Easy. You know what I'm saying?
But that's different when it's us saying it. If Eminem came out and said I'm blacker than Wayne Brady.
Exactly.
You're going to be like, wait, hold up,
a whole nother problem. You can't do that. In my mind,
that's just
it's like
somebody talking about. That's like somebody talking about your brother or whatever. Like, you could talk about your brother.
Yeah, but
don't let nobody else do it.
That's not your brother.
That's not your brother.
Yeah. So it's like in my mind, it's a way out of being black, but it's no way in.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
Okay.
That's how I feel. Like, you just can't fill out an application and be like, I'm black now.
I feel it.
But you can fight you can get out of being black all you want to.
Yeah.
You can definitely disrespect and discredit your way out of being black.
But you know the good and bad thing about being black in that regard is we're very forgiving people. You know what I'm saying? We knew OJ wasn't rocking with us that whole time. Like,
we did.
And we
but that was
accepted him anyway. Like,
that
you know
was,
what? You still one of us.
But
like,
that was more about the system than about him. That was
but
more,
even after that, though, I don't feel like black people like went back to not liking OJ or nothing like that. Afterwards.
No, because
he won, but then he started doing stupid stuff.
But that's what I'm
still. We're like, whatever. He's
that's what I'm. But that's what I'm saying. He did something better than what white people do. We've seen seen white people get off on cases. We never saw black people, a celebrity athlete black person, get off on a case like killing a white girl. That was never gonna fly. That was never gonna fly. But when OJ was in that situation and we thought about it like, damn, he could really get off with this. When the whole glove don't fit, you must have quit situation happened, it snapped in everybody's head. And this is the exact thought in everybody verbatim. I wasn't there, but I guarantee you this was word for word what everybody thought. This nigga can beat the case.
Yep.
And he did, so we kept him in the culture.
Yeah.
So we kept him there because he did it.
No,
we was like, he's Muhammad Ali of cases in court. If we put him in court, we put him and Johnny Cochran in court. They undefeated.
No, I feel it, man. I feel it. Like, yeah, it's a weird thing.
That's why I said it's a loophole that'll keep you in if you
even if you don't want to be in, I mean, you still
in there by default. You in there by default.
Hey, that's real.
And I feel like, and I hate that because people will be like, oh, I'm blacker than this. I'm like, no, you're not, because it's certain things that we come across. If we say something, if it's a public event and it's majority white, if I say something off the wall, the little bit of black people that's in there is going to relate. They're not going to be appalled. They might laugh because they know it's true and they know why I did it because all these people around. If you do it, it's not going to be the same effect.
Not going to be the same effect.
Because you're not black. That's clear
facts.
Separation.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing with women. When women like, I'm basically a dude, I'm more of a dude than you. Like, you know what I'm saying? They go at that, and then they turn around and do some female shit when they boyfriend walk in. Like, why you always grabbing your balls? Do you got balls? You don't know why I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what the case is. That's why I'm like, it's a clear separation, no matter how gray area the boundaries look. Like, if they be like, oh, he ain't black. He ain't never ate soul food before. I'm like, that's a joke between black people.
Exactly.
Between the watered down black dude and the real one.
Yeah.
And then the perfect example that I heard, because I heard you touch on this, so I wanted to bring it up. When you was like, hood is usually like the definition of how black you are.
Yeah.
But the perfect definition came from Friday, actually. When Craig and Day got robbed, and they was like, was it a black dude who did this? And they was like, no, it was a nigga.
Yeah,
like, all black people know what that means. Black people are like straight up regular people. Like Will Smith is a black dude.
That's what I was gonna say.
Very professional, very regular, very successful. A nigga is what people think the definition of black is.
I was just looking for this video where Aries Spears is on Vlad TV. I'm not gonna find it because we almost out of time. But, basically, he was on Aries Spears, Aries Spears was on Vlad TV, and he was talking about Key and Peele, right? Yeah. And Vlad asked him basically, like, you know, what's your opinion on Key and Peele? Why don't you think they connect to, you know, the black audience as much or whatever as like a Dave Chappelle did, for example? Yeah. He was like, okay. He was like, I'll say it like this. He was like, Key and Peele, I worked with them on Mad TV. He was like, they're good dudes. He was like, give you the shirt off their back. Yeah. They nice guys, you know what I'm saying? He was like I have nothing bad to say about them. He was like, but is it my fault that the majority of their friends are white and that they both got white wives? Nah, it's not. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then he was like, now there's also that other element of, he was like, there's just a feeling and just like a sense that real niggas have. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just like a third eye. He's like, and then he brought up Will Smith. He was like, if Will Smith is in Philly right now, you'll believe it. You know what I'm saying? You'll be like, I can see Will Smith like going back to the neighborhood and, you know, hanging out with some people. Like, that's not too far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? He was like Dave Chappelle. He had that real, just that essence. Even though sometimes his, he's a little bit proper, and like sometimes his comedy would be considered like traditionally white comedy, I think. Like, just in the way he presents it or whatever. Yeah. He was like, you could see Dave Chappelle in DC kicking it with the homies, and wouldn't even be shocked. You'd be like, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? He was like, Key and Peele, where do you see them at? He's like, where do you see them? He's like, you see them with white people. That's where you picture in your mind, you know what I'm saying, that they will be at, because they don't have that thing, whatever it is. He was like, you can smell it on him. Like, you just, now something's off here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just kind of one of those unspoken things that only black people understand. And
I thought that because one of them was on ESPN. He was on First Take with Stephen A. Smith. And I grew a little bit more of a fan towards him because he had a new show and I was interested. Because I didn't like Key and Peele. I didn't like just the drop off. It wasn't even about who they were or what they did. It was just the drop off from Dave Chappelle to them. Yeah. That I was just like, no, I'm not rocking it. If it ain't that funny, I don't want it. Right. And one of them went on the show and he was like, I'm a diehard Lions fan. He was like, I'm from Michigan.
He's from,
I was like, I ain't know that. And he started talking about how he wanted the Lions to win so bad. And the first thing that popped in my head, I was like, he's from Bloomfield. He not from the D for real.
Right, yeah. He's
not going to be claiming East 7 Mile.
Nah, he's from one of the surrounding areas for sure.
And that's what I was thinking. I was like, that was the first thing when he was like, yeah, I love the Lions. I go back to their games. I was like, he's going from Bloomfield to the stadium.
But you know what did give me actually, and this kind of goes against the whole argument I just said, but which one was it? I think it was Peele, right? Peele was the one who did Get Out.
Get Out, yeah.
I still haven't seen Get Out, but from what I've heard, it's basically showing how white people either want to be black or a lot of them want to be like black people, but then when shit hits the fan, essentially, then it's like, oh, I can go back to being white again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or how, like, black people, a lot of times, how we feel, like, I've heard a few different things about it, so I don't know if this is accurate, y'all, but, you know, how we feel in situations where we're around a lot of white people and stuff like that. Like, I heard it reflects those sentiments very good in the movie, and I was like, I gotta respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for a dude
to go that far out of his element.
Just to illustrate a point that is true. Yeah. As a black dude, even if he's mixed too, technically both of them are. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're both black and white. So whichever side he leans more towards culturally, he made a great point with this movie, and at least he's aware. You know what I'm saying? So when you're aware, I can't be mad at you. Like, you know what I mean? Even if you aren't how I am, you know what I'm saying? Or if you're not how Corey is, or you're not how, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't act exactly like me, that's cool as long as you're aware of
But
what's
we
going
can
on.
feel it too.
You can feel it.
You can feel it. Like, even at work, that's where I get it the most, at work. Out here, because it's so, if you go to a job in Arizona, it's gonna be very few black people there.
Facts.
And eventually we're gonna identify each other, fill each other out, and go from there.
Yeah, you're either gonna be cool or you're gonna completely
and
not
people and
rock.
everybody around is gonna watch it, even if they don't want to admit it. If they're not black, they're gonna
be like,
peep
ooh, they're
this
finally
in.
meeting. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, and they gonna want a backstory to it.
Kevin,
and people saw me at my job, and they see me talk to one dude, and I was like, oh, all right, and I treated him like everybody else. Then I met another dude, and we was just like instantly cool.
Hit it off.
Top.
Yeah.
And that was like,
what's the difference?
they didn't want to ask me blatantly, but you know how
They wanted to know, like, what's the difference between him and him?
they always want to be PC about it. So they're like, oh, so you're cool with Twine, but you're not cool with John.
Oh, so and that.
So
wait,
no, they don't ask that. They'll just be like, they'll be like, no, I'm just giving general.
I was gonna say,
I'm just giving you a picture. Like,
makes so much
one
sense,
has a
too.
generic name and one
has the black name.
yeah. So and
okay.
they'd be like, I see you around Twine a lot. Like, do you hang with anybody else? And then they'd mumble off a couple random people's
and
names.
then throw John in there.
Yeah, and then throw John in there. And I'll be like, he cool, but I don't really rock with him. You know what I'm saying? And they'd be like, why not? Like, I seen you have one conversation with Twine,
and now y'all have lunch together every day. Like,
I just give them a generic statement to throw them off because they don't understand. They're not black. They don't understand that when I approached John, he was like, hey man, what's going on? Have you ever been cliff diving and all of that? And I was like, no, I can't swim, but I want to go. You know what I'm saying? And after a few sentences, we realized we had nothing in common. And then as soon as I talked to Twine, he was like, yo, you from the D? Oh, I'm from Chicago. Yo, y'all Coney Island be fire, bro.
And then instantly it's
yeah,
like, oh,
and
no.
we just
you feel
went
like home,
from there.
nigga.
And as soon as we saw each other, you know how we are. If we hit it off once, as soon as we see each other, hey, what's good, bro? We don't even got to know that much about each other.
When we
just got to know,
know,
hey, did you see the Floyd fight? Come on now.
Yeah.
That's in black culture.
Because y'all just know what it is already.
Yeah,
like,
we just know
things.
it's just instinct.
Yeah.
And
I mean, and that's that's why it's hard to put a definition on it. Like when you say, what does it mean to be back? In my head, I know what that means. It's hard to explain it.
Yeah.
You know
oh, and the last thing I want to touch on, this is funny to me about this topic. I had white people and Hispanic people ask me, what is it about me that draws black people to me? And I'll give you an example. Like when you look, let's say you look at the Lions. If you look at any white dude on their team, you're going to be like, oh, nah, they don't really kick it with black. Then you get to Stafford, and you'll be like, he got hella black friends.
Right.
Like, you just know it. And, you know, black people will go to him first because you just know off rip, like, nope, that's the one. Let me go to Stafford. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when you talk to him, it's just like Eminem. Eminem don't got to say a word.
You just know.
If you see him and you see a bunch of dudes in a suit, then you see Eminem, and he like, yo, what you about to do? And he got on a bathing ape hoodie, and he like, yo, what you about to do? That's the one.